Good evening, Starlights. How are we? Hello, hello, hello. It is I, Luna, here for some more 14. Squish. Yes, bask in the coziness of the plushy galaxy. As you can see, we have a new outfit because, of course, we have to admire the fit, as is the way. A sort of floral healer kind of vibe here. So we are going to finish off the Maelstrom patch, and then we move into, I believe it's Defenders of Eorzea. That panda is clinging on. It's just like, that panda is me internally. Externally, internally. The Admiral has informed me of the arrangement. I have in my keeping a letter of introduction for Lady Yugiri. To the south stands a gate leading to the pier for smaller fishing vessels. Look for an inconspicuous Hyuran man there and present the letter to him. He serves as a gatekeeper of sort. Now, before you go, excuse me, I am obligated to remind you that the members of the fraternity to which you would be introduced abide in the shadows of Luminson society. They value their independence more highly than pirates, and are united by a bond stronger than Mithril. To wit, they are invariably wary of new faces. Though it be penned by the Admiral herself, mere words on parchment will get you only so far into their confidence. You must work for every ounce of trust they place in you. Oh, but here is a letter. Go to the aforementioned place and show it to the aforementioned man. Oh, and good luck. That was very loud in my ear. Yes, how are we all on this beautiful Friday evening? I don't even know what the weather's actually like outside because I haven't looked at my curtains. I am glad it is Friday. I got stuff to do on the weekend, got commission to work on, stuff like that. But otherwise, I am good. 10 out of 10 for the wash shoulder piece. Exactly, it's on brand. Arg! How appropriate, we're in Linza as well. Arg! Yes, hello to Hantanos, Grizz, Earth, and anyone else who is currently lurking. Remember, lurkers are appreciated here. All I ask is if you are lurking, just make sure that you... I think if you mute the tab, it still counts as a view. I can't remember. There's naught behind these covered doors for a worldly type like you, missus. We're the dutiful sisters of the Edelweiss, all purely and saintly like. Now bugger off. Hang about. I thought you were just some simple errand lass, but now I've had a proper look. You're Luna, aren't you? Nod. I knew it. You like to snitch all the rising talent, and from what I hear, you're head and shoulders above the rest. You can handle yourself half as well as they say. You might as well be of use to us. Ah, forget all that sister of Edelweiss bollocks. That's just a bit of fun to fob off the curious coals. We're a guild of rogues, lass. As many on marks as does the paying. Me and mine work at the Shadows of Limsa, taking a keen edge to the rooks and cacklers wearing themselves a millin. We don't tout for members, but every now and again we might offer a promising young cove a place in the ranks. Oh, did I go to the wrong one? Whoops. Oh, that's fine. Oh well, we just got some dialogue we didn't see because Luna wasn't paying attention. So, my first character was a... Galalafel called Tylili Ty. Okay, so she started off as a Mikote called Tylili Tyli. And then I race changed to... No, she wasn't a Lalafell. I started as a Lalafell, that's right. So I started as a Lalafell. And then I turned her into a Mikote. Then I abandoned that character. And I made Shio, who's my main. I've had her pretty much since. I've also got Cad, of course, as is tradition. You're really gonna make me run all the way around, aren't you? Because there's no actual way you can cut through there, I think. I'll go. But I started as a summoner, scholar, whatever you want to call it. Always destined to be a casting. No! I was a black mage! Then I switched to scholar. That's right. Got business with me, Venture. Yeah, you, not the other dude. War. So you're the woman the Admiral sent woman of. I was hoping I might catch a glimpse of Fancred too. Been a while since I seen his shite-eating grin. With all the doe-eyed wenches about, I expect he's got his hands full. Fancred's like, I heard you talking shit. Nope, it was you, Geary. Ah, and you must be the Far Easterner. What more said wanted to train with us? What were the limbs of my lady? I am Yugiri of Doma. 'Tis an honor to make your acquaintance. I must confess, when first I learned of your organization, I had certain preconceptions as to the nature of your membership. It would seem I was mistaken. Ah, you're not the first person to say that, lass. Them's a city of pirates, to be sure, and pirates don't give two thoughts about keeping a spotless reputation. All they need is a secret society to do their dirty work. Might be as my people and I keep to the shadows, we've got nothing to be ashamed of. It's simply better for business that we remain unseen. So you've developed fighting techniques suited to this purpose. I see. Know that the practitioners of my art, too, are denizens of the shadow. 'Tis in stealth that our strength lies. There's much we might learn from one another, I think. Well, what the 7 L's are we waiting for? If you come with us, Yugiri of Do-What's-It, you can get acquainted in more private surrounds. I didn't come out right, did it? Lady Luna, I shall remain with these people for a time, that I might study their ways. Though I am loath to be separated from my countrymen, I take solace in the knowledge they are in the best of hands. You've been a true friend to us Domans. No word would suffice to express my gratitude. Ere long, I hope to begin imparting my martial knowledge to the people of Eorzea. When the time comes, it would be my honor to welcome you as a student. Yeah, that ain't happening anytime soon, Yugiri. Sorry, I suck at ninja. Because that's what Kat originally was before I made her a bard and a dancer. I made her a ninja. Because I hated myself. Much and much has occurred since first I beheld Eorzea from the galleon's deck. Suffice it to say, I did not envision being invited to play a part in your noble struggle. Forgive me. Oh, I skipped the dialogue. When you next meet Lady Minfilia, pray relay to her my humblest thanks. Would that I could do so in person, but I must needs fulfill my promise to the Admiral. Till we meet again, Warrior of Light. Return to the Rising Stones. Woo! Hey, return to the Rising Stones. Return. Minfilia! Minfilia! I'm back. Give me my next mission, please. Punch an old man in the face soon. I sounded far too excited about that prospect, didn't I?
I have been reflecting upon the events which took place during our visit to Vilbrand. If you have a moment, I would share my conclusions with you. Please, bear with me. When the Sahagin Elder summoned Leviathan, he employed the power we have come to know as the Echo. Though I cannot well explain the how of it, it would seem he became immortal in so doing. When the Admiral subsequently slew him, his spirit emerged from his lifeless flesh, a consciousness shorn of physical form. Thus transfigured, he took up residence in the body of his minion with the ease of a man donning a favorite glove. Long have I known that the Echo allows one to pass through the walls of a man's soul. But never did I imagine that it could free us from our own flesh, nor less that our souls could then occupy the next corporeal vessel to take our fancy. It was of this that Elidibus spoke, an existence which knows neither cessation nor oblivion. And yet, though the Sahagin had mastered his gift and thereby become immortal, he was by no means invulnerable. As we both bore witness, he was ultimately absorbed into Leviathan. And the import of this observation? If the Ascian's mode of existence is indeed the same, it can be inferred that they too are not invulnerable, that they can be destroyed. There exists a legend which tells of souls who are reborn upon the cusp of each umbral calamity, that they might stay the encroaching darkness. To most, it is but a fairy tale, yet recent events have given me cause to wonder, could the legend in fact refer to the Echo? Much and more yet remains unknown, but I am confident that all will become clear in time. For the present, however, what matters is that the key to defeating the Ascians may at last be within sight. With Eorzea's aid, it is my hope that I shall fathom this matter ere long. Oh, I was just about to send for you, my friend. Is Artemis?
Grave tidings from the Sharlayan motherland, my lady. It doth concern our distant allies, the students of Baldessian.
What of them?
My lady, the Isle of Val, which for many years hath been the Order's home, is no more.
No more? Whatever do you mean?
I relate only that which hath been conveyed unto me by our agents. An etheric wave of the highest magnitude was recorded in the region. Soon thereafter, 'twas observed that the isle had ceased to be. 'Tis postulated that a magic was evoked, like in power to Ultima.
12 preserve.
If there are no other matters, I move that today's meeting be adjourned.
It is done, my lord. Forgive my impertinence, my lord, but these orders, I am uncertain as to what end they serve.
Revolution.
Never have you ever wanted to throw a Lalafell into traffic so hard. That is a Lalafell that deserves to be thrown into traffic. Our friends, the very isle itself, everyone and everything. No, it avails us naught to speculate. Eorzea will send word if there are any developments. Until such time as he does, we must remain firmly focused on that which is within our power to change. With that in mind, I would speak of a different matter, one closer to home. It concerns etheric fluctuations, which we previously attributed to good King Mogomog the 12th. That the king is no more is a blessing for which we have you to thank. Yet all is not well in the 12's wood. Our latest readings reveal an ongoing etheric disturbance of considerable magnitude. They may even suggest the presence of a primal. See, okay, I'm gonna mini hot take for a split second. I never understood the hate towards Lalafells. I really don't. I've just never understood it, never will understand it. There are times where I feel like at some point I'm probably gonna make Luna into a Lalafell, even just for like one patch or something. I don't know. Lala Luna. Lala Luna. Needless to say, the mere possibility warrants immediate investigation, and I would have you... Cilia, I don't wish to interrupt, but we have a problem. What manner of problem? A band of refugees, hailing from Uldar this time, have come to Revenant's Toll seeking asylum. We're seeing they expect us to afford them the same treatment we gave the Domans. At present, they're in the 7th heaven, awaiting a formal response. I see. Mayhap this was to be expected. I shall meet with them at once. Cilia, you know full well we haven't the resources to accommodate many more people. Consider what will happen if you do this. Word will spread and more will follow. Your opinion is duly noted, but I will hear their suit. Luna, I should be grateful for your presence at this meeting. I have a nice new outfit, may as well. I apologize for keeping you waiting. My name is Minfilia, and I lead the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. 'Twill be praised, it is you. We're ready and willing to work. Same as the Domans. Just give us a task and we'll see it done. Pray, calm yourselves. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I know naught of your situation. Beg your pardon, Tessident. I ain't so good with words. We've been living off the scraps of Uldar for years now, trying to piece together a life to replace the one what got took. They say there's work, but there's naught for an honest man. Naught wouldn't sully his soul sitting in his palms any road. Flames do what they can for us, of course. They ain't near enough. And it's only getting worse. When the calamity brought us to our knees, those rich bastards in the cities didn't help us. Climbed on our backs. I don't pretend to be clever, but even I can see what's coming. I knew we had to run. The only question was where, and then it came to me. Revenant's Toll. I mean, you took them foreigners in, didn't you? So surely you'd do the same for us. I fear the situation is a little more complicated. While it is true that we accepted the Doman's petition for aid, that decision was the product of extraordinary circumstances. I sympathize deeply with your plight. Pray understand it is not possible for an organization of our means to aid all who have been affected by the calamity. And so it is with great regret that I must deny your request. But we've nowhere else to go. You're turning your back on us? If I might have a word. Taru, is aught amiss? Ill tidings from Uldar, my lady. Alphino has been wounded. What? How? Is it serious? I cannot say for certain, but I fear it might be. According to the Flames, the refugees started a riot. They went wild, apparently, lashing out at any and everyone. Well, can't be right, why would they? Well, they must have been provoked. Their demonstration was meant to be peaceful. 7 L's. Now the Blades have an excuse. They'll round us up and kill anyone who tried to resist. Tessident, please, if you want to help us build a new life, at least help us keep the ones we've got. My lady, we're not one to stand idly by and watch innocents suffer. However, until we know more of the circumstances surrounding this riot, I'm not certain what aid, if any, we can provide. If the authorities determine that the refugees attacked without provocation, then those responsible will have to answer for their actions. How can you be so blind? Find Alphino and quickly. If he is in danger, or worse, I would have you and none other by his side. Yeah, let me get dragged in. Thank you. Pray do not concern yourself with the matter we were discussing earlier. Ida and Papalimo will see to it. Alphino's being treated at the Hourglass. Hurry, Luna. Taru, my sweet. Check potato. Check the sweet potato. cooking right by the stone. If right, who be cooking? Looks somewhere comfy at least. Wow, for someone who's injured, you sure look fine, Alphino. My pride got wounded.
Come, you must have gathered by now that Tataru is given to exaggeration. As you can see, I am quite well. Ul'dah, on the other hand, is not. This riot was anything but an isolated incident. There is a restlessness in the air. Tensions long simmering are at last threatening to boil over. Ul'dah is a nation infamous for the great disparity between the wealthy and the poor. The majority of the populace accepts this state of affairs because they believe that every man bears responsibility for his own lot in life. To an Ul'dan, money is the foremost, and some would say the only measure of a man's worth. Small wonder that the wealthiest wield the greatest influence. So where do the refugees fit into this social hierarchy? What place is there for those who fled Alamigo and the destruction of the Calamity? Plainly, there is none. They have no wealth, no power, and no worth. To the Ul'dan way of thinking, they may as well not exist. Choosing to ignore their existence, however, is patently not an option. General Rauban and the Sultana understand this, which is why they ordered the Immortal Flames to provide the refugees aid and succor. Yet none would dispute that the expenses incurred by this policy grow by the day, with no end in sight. This has prompted more and more Uldans to question their obligation to aid these worthless wanderers. While more and more refugees have come to resent their treatment at the hands of the sneering citizenry.
Eat the rich.
The manner of Lord Lolorito's refusal to grant the Dolmens asylum bespoke a disdain for all refugees, an attitude shared by the rest of the monetarists. And you may be sure they make no effort to conceal their opinions. It was only a matter of time before the refugees united in protest, nor is it any surprise that some among them would ultimately resort to violence. That the Immortal Flames should choose this of all occasions to engage in joint training exercises with the other Grand Companies. By the time they return, the situation may well have deteriorated beyond mending.
It is very strange going back and hearing this voice after so long. I mean, I'm sort of used to it now since I've been doing this, but I am very used to Colin. Sam did a good job, though. I just slightly prefer Colin's delivery. Just a little bit different. It's just something hits a little different. We both do a really good job at Elf now. As I told you before, it was all but inevitable that an incident of this kind would eventually occur, given the rising tensions within the Sultanate. Nevertheless, I have reason to believe that this particular riot may not have been begun spontaneously. Have I piqued your curiosity? Good. Then you will accompany me to the Hall of Flames. But hear what General Raban has to say upon the matter. That's a point. 1. I need to poke Fen at some point and ask her if she can grant everyone the ability to do actions. So that way Hant has access, because I know Hant plays this quite a fair bit. And I don't want him not getting a chance to have stuff. We're gonna be lazy. Hello, Rabba. Now is not a good time, Corporal Arcanos. My hands are full dealing with the refugees. Hi, stomach. Can we not growl so loudly? Literally just ate. Calm down. Breathe. Precisely the matter we wish to discuss, General. Alfredo, back in all feet already. You may credit my swift recovery to your healers. Every time I try to pronounce that word, I pronounce it wrong. My memories of the riot are still somewhat muddled. I trust you managed to regain control of the situation. Not entirely. We secured the city soon enough, but not before the unrest had spread to the surrounding territories. Pockets of resistance remain throughout Fanalan. We have sent what forces we can to spare routes. We have sent what forces we can spare to root out the last of the belligerents, but progress is slow. They are damned elusive. I can well imagine. Given that the majority of refugees live outside the walls, it stands to reason that they would know the lay of the land. What I do not understand is how they came to be so well prepared. Before my little accident, I observed that several of the refugees were armed, and not with butcher knives or pitchforks, but with martial weaponry, and he'd only add that such equipment is costly. None can deny that tensions between the Aldan citizenry and the refugee population has increased since the Domans were turned away. Would that motivate a starving man to purchase arms in lieu of food? I think not. What of those who have not even a single gil to spend, who could not survive without the aid provided by the immortal flames? Surely they would sooner sell a weapon than bring it to bear against their benefactors. Come to the point. Very well. My point, General, is that this powder keg of discontent was not set alight by chance. These events were deliberately set in motion, and now order must be restored. That is my first duty. Until this is done, any investigation can wait. I do not have time to discuss this. My scouts will be returning anon. The General is no fool. He keeps his own counsel, and with good cause. Were he to claim, without the necessary proof, that his riots were instigated by outside forces, the monetarists would accuse him of attempting to shirk responsibility. After all, he and the Sultana have been the most outspoken proponents of refugee aid. Regardless, they will face harsh criticism in the days ahead. Our allies may stumble upon the truth in time, but I have far more faith in your abilities, Luna. Therefore, I propose we conduct our own investigation independent of the authorities. To that end, I would have you make inquiries into the settlements inspected with harbour and belligerents. Commander Swift will know where they are. He may balk at a request for such information, but I've no doubt that you can persuade him with your silver tongue. I, meanwhile, shall seek answers in my own way, after which we can regroup and share our findings. Well then, shall we? Was I just clocked that as Alpha Nerd, not Alpha No? Wow, I'm slow. Alpha Nerd. I like that. That's what Cad would call him affectionately. She treats the twins like little siblings, so it tracks. You look as though you have something to say, Corporal Arcanos. Do you? And to ask is no simple favour. For such information to fall into the wrong hands, the lives of countless soldiers would be at risk. Even so, there is wisdom in your words. An able individual, even one with ties to the flames, may be better suited to this task than a regiment. Very well. Brass blades. God, I am stumbling my words tonight. Brass blades have reported suspicious activity in the vicinity of Lost Hope. Maybe unrelated to recent events, but I doubt it. I suggest you begin by speaking to the blades posted there. Ooh. The vision keeps going really funny for some reason, which is a bit concerning. I'm fine, by the way. It's just occasionally my eyes go a bit blurry. Maybe I need to strengthen my glasses. Strengthen my lenses up. Lenses. I want more friends to play 14. So we can all hang out and dress up and stuff. What brings you here, adventurer? A search for refugees? then you come to the right place. Oh, you mean those refugees? No, you won't find them here. Most of the people have lost hope have come to accept this situation and are content to pass their days in peace and quiet. Outsiders have trouble understanding that, like that merchant who passed through recently. Gregarious fellow, but awfully opinionated. Can't say how sad to see him go. Friend of the Sultanate, are we? I take it this means someone's read my report. The refugees who left with the merchant have yet to return, and I am increasingly concerned that Zazawaka's suspicions were correct. You have the foggiest what we're talking about, do you? Never mind. Speak with Zazawaka. He will explain everything. Zazawaka. Don't hurt me! Oh, I'm not one of them. I beg your pardon? You're of the flames, but you're not with the flames? I see. If you fear you speak with me, then I take it you've agreed to help. God be praised for that, because we haven't a moment to waste. Everyone knows the flames are on the march. Devils have fallen under that fanatic spell, but not I. Promises of revolution and retribution, of holding the ruling class to account and taking that which is owed. A childish fantasy. I did everything I could to dissuade the others from leaving, but few would heed my words. Now that one of our idealists have returned, however, the matters of the merchant's plan is plain for all to see. Look behind yonder tent and you will understand why. Even now he babbles incoherently, so traumatized is he by the bloodshed he witnessed. Try as I might, I can make little sense of his words beyond the fact that he was not alone in surviving. Yet I've no doubt that merchant will lead the remainder to their doom. I beg of you, find them before he does. What are you doing? Don't draw. Don't draw. Why didn't you run away with me? Could have escaped together, then you'd be here with me. Be here to soothe me. Why did you have to stay and leave me alone? Well, you know, that's what I'm here for. Soothe. Chill. Calm. Who are you? What do you want? It's true. I followed the merchant and made the gods strike me down for my folly. What they will not give, you must take, he said. When we asked how, he revealed a cache of weapons he'd brought and implored us to seize control of our fates. I fought into running then and there, but the others were so excited. He split us into two groups, sent us off on our own. When the flames found us, we didn't know what to do. Our leader tried to parley with theirs, but then they started arguing and then fighting, and then everyone was fighting and the flames were shouting to give no quarter, and... Oh God, it's the other group, they're still out there. If we don't stop them, they'll be massacred like mine was. What's my rings like? 1 from 5. Okay. The other refugees are hiding in the caves south of Lost Hope. But to approach them would be fruitless. They would sooner call us agents of the Sultanate and try to kill us than listen to reason. Why, the twins might even deign to do the deed themselves. Oh, pox and all bloody sellswords. They're supposed to train us to fight, but the ones he sent with us vanished during the struggle. Oh, if only we'd never listened to that merchant's ridiculous claims. He said our cause was righteous, that the gods would never suffer us to be defeated. If they were forced to confront reality. That's it! Challenge the twins to combat, and show my brethren that their strongest warriors are no match for one woman. Mayhap then they will agree to lay down their arms and renounce this plot. Okay. Oh, hello, sir. There's a very tall gentleman next to me. I keep stopping to mount, and I still haven't learned that I could just go while I'm mounting. I play far too much WoW where you can't do that. What? Oh, I'm being done. Seven L's, they found us! Everyone, grab your gear and make for the rendezvous point. So that's your game, is it? Sorry to disappoint your laugh, but we're more than willing to kill you ourselves. Oh, don't make me do this. I know. I will aggressively throw rocks at you. Just stop. Mother Nature don't give no fuck. The power of God and anime on my side. We're really doing this, huh? Wingus and Dingus, come over here. That's Wingus, now Dingus. Yeah? You beat him like it was nothing. Fall almighty, what are we gonna do now? You're gonna stop being stupid. That's a start. I understand when to revolt and push back. It's always good to push back against your oppressors, but not when the oppressors are extraordinarily rich like in 14. Please note that this is just a silly opinion. In truth and reality, I do believe that we should always rise up against those who enforce ideals or things that could actually oppress people. But still! You've returned! Did you find my brethren? What of the twins? What happened? I see. Well, we had no choice. Better that a handful of them take a beating from you than a lot get butchered by the flames. I threw rocks at their head. They, at the very minor minimum, have very serious concussions. And I didn't heal them afterwards. Tell me, what did the merchant have to say when it was over? Where else would he be? Unless he went to Stones Throw to recruit others. The merchant was to approach the refugees in Stones Throw. I was waiting until the flames withdrew the forces from the vicinity. Now that they have, there's nothing to stop him from continuing his work. How many more must perish in pursuit of this futile cause? How much more suffering must we endure before it ends? Find him, convince him to cease his mad quest. It will surely lead us to ruin. Alright. Haunts. Flying haunts. Flying stabby haunts. My parents? They told me to stay here with the others. They said they'd be back soon, but it's been days. They left with the man from Order. The man said they were going to change everything, make it so we could live inside the walls with everyone else. I liked it when he said that. I didn't like it when he talked about making the rich people pay. Everyone looked so angry and I got scared. Say, miss, are you looking for someone? I'm looking for a merchant. You mean the man who left with my parents? But I don't know where he... Wait, look, over there. I think think that's him. Oh, now. Which of these gullible fools shall be my next victim? Meow. You! Meow. He's getting away! Go get him, miss! I didn't realize I was thrown by a child. It's fine. Once away. Excuse me, sir. You again? Why are you pursuing me? You're being a dick. Sedition? Sedition? Treason? Revolution? That's preposterous. Who's filled your head with these lies? Refugees? The still same refugees who terrorize the street of Uldor? You have no evidence to prove your accusations. None. No! I will not accompany you to the Hall of Flames. You have no right to detain me. For the sake of argument, let's say I did do the things you claim. Surely you don't think I'd give a kicker in his ass about politics? It was business. Only business. We both know I'm not the one you want. However, if you agree to protect me, I swear I shall tell you everything. Yeah, we kind of sucked at that, huh? I'm a healer. Heal him. No, okay. What's all this commotion? 7 L's. Ooh, what's face? Tell the others to spread out and search the area. The killer may still be close. Hold, adventurer. I would know more about your relationship with the victim, as well as the events leading up to his death. I didn't know this dude, in all honesty. This man was responsible for the recent riots. Mayhap we owe his murderer a debt of gratitude. No. In any case, it's obvious you're not the one whom we seek. Will you carry on with your investigation, Scion? Back we go. Away! Hi-ho, Silver, away! Cons. What news, Corporal Locanos? Where is the merchant? Murdered? Damn it all to the 7th hell. He was not simply murdered, Corporal. He was silenced. Too many knew his face and he was ready to divulge their secrets. Do not despair, though. We may be closer to identifying the true orchestrator of these riots than you realize. Relation. The Flame General left word that you were to proceed to the Fragrant Chamber as soon as you returned. He wishes to discuss your recent discoveries as well as the results of our own investigation. Master Alphino has already been informed and shall be waiting for you outside. Pray proceed to the Royal Promenade with all haste and speak with Bartholomew. Okay. I've been expecting you, madam. Please proceed inside. That's level 70, wait. Normally I wouldn't take the reward, but it's actually an upgrade for now.
Commander Swift has kept us apprised of your recent
thank God,
activities.
voice acting.
You've made great strides towards quelling the violence.
Despite our best efforts to determine what provoked this uprising, the truth continues to elude us. Have you uncovered aught which might shed some light on the mystery?
This information does not leave this room. The Syndicate's decision to reject the Doman refugees' appeal for asylum had lasting repercussions. A number of those displaced by the calamity claimed it was proof of a policy of discrimination. Together with a group of Alamegan refugees, they organized a series of demonstrations to protest against the Sultanate. Demonstrations which became heated, but did not descend into violence. Until a certain incident served as a call to arms.
A unit of brass blades sent to supervise a demonstration loosed arrows upon unarmed protesters. It was this atrocity which prompted the refugees to take up arms. I need not tell you what followed.
We assumed at first that the attack was born of a miscommunication. When emotions run high, they happen. But suspicions were raised regarding the unit's commanding officer, whom I ordered interrogated. Sure enough, our fears were soon confirmed. The dog confessed that a merchant had offered him coin to give the order. A merchant in the employ of Teleji Adeleji.
Teleji Adeleji.
Why are we surprised?
But he spoke in favor of the Doman's cause, and has ever seemed sympathetic towards the refugees' plight. Why would he do such a thing?
Money, Alphino. Money.
Know you of the Cartano Reclamation Bill? It is a proposal to annex the Cartano Flats so that refugees may establish permanent settlements.
When last I looked, that was disputed territory.
Aye. Some might even call it a battlefield.
It's where PvP takes place.
The destruction wrought by Bahamut was greatest at the Cartano Flats. That much is common knowledge. What is less well known is that his rampage laid bare ancient Alagon ruins, of which no record existed. There are certain differences of opinion as to how these ruins should be handled, which is why each nation maintains a military presence in the region to this day. Yet differ though we may, we are still allies. Therefore, in the interest of preserving the Eorzean alliance, we have reached an agreement. Any conflict which may arise during the course of military exercises in the region shall have no bearing on relations between our nations. In full knowledge of this delicate state of affairs, Teleji Adeleji proposed the Cartano Reclamation Bill. A shameless bloody ruse which stands to benefit him in but one conceivable way. If successful, he will gain control over the disputed territory under the guise of assisting in the resettlement effort. And you can be sure he'll build an orphanage next to every Alagon ruin.
The man would threaten threaten the unity of the Eorzean alliance and risk countless lives for personal gain.
He walks a path all his own, independent of any faction and beholden to none of his fellows on the Syndicate.
By inciting the less fortunate to violence, he hopes to convince others that the Cartano Reclamation Bill is the only viable solution. His sympathy for the plight of the Domans was not but posturing to gain credibility with the refugees. Of that there can be no doubt.
Forgive me, but what could possibly motivate Teleji Adeleji to go to such lengths? What is so special about these ruins that he would risk his position on the Syndicate, and, most likely, charges of treason against the Sultanate?
Omega.
Pardon?
An Oligon monstrosity, not unlike the Ultima weapon. Mayhap larger, we know not. It has yet to be fully excavated. Oligon inscriptions indicate that it was created to fell Bahamut himself. If accurate, it might explain why Nael Van Darnus chose to bring the Red Moon down upon the Cartano Flats. Given the ends he went to ensure Eorzea's annihilation, destroying the one weapon which could stay the Elder Primal may well have seemed like good sense.
When first I bore witness to the power of the Ultima weapon, I doubted the evidence of my senses. And now you tell me there is another such weapon, one which could contend with Bahamut. Bahamut!
Aye, we were skeptical ourselves. Truth be told, until the Ultima weapon's existence came to light, we thought the inscription had been mistranslated.
At present, Omega is more akin to a fossil than a tool of war, having long since ceased to function. As such, its true potential cannot accurately be gauged. However, if someone were to restore it, as the Garleans did the Ultima weapon, I have little doubt that he would wield untold power.
Power enough to subjugate Uldar like as not, and the rest of Eorzea besides, which is doubtless why Teleji Adeleji yearns to have it.
That he should aspire to world domination. He who has ever walked 2 paces behind Lord Lolorito in matters of commerce.
'Tis in acknowledgement of his own limitations that he seeks this power. Woe betide us all should we allow him to have it.
Pray waste no time chasing rats. Only a fool would believe that secrets can be kept in Uldar.
It would seem the implications of the Sultanate's refugee problem are rather more far-reaching than we assumed.
Oh. Oh, it got something stuck in my hair. Ooh. I should be glad to know the truth, and yet, the thought that all this chaos was the product of one man's lust for power sickens me. How long do you think they intended to hide the existence of Omega from the Scions? That they even felt the need to do so is most troubling. Would it be our best interest to learn more of the military activities in the disputed territories? Fortunately, you're already well positioned to do so, Corporate Arcanos. Pray keep us informed of any developments in Cartano. Nod. Be gone, whelp! It's no place for children. Oh, you don't be mean to Nod. Give a man a sword and he thinks he's better than everyone. I'm sorry. I was looking for you, miss. You said said you were looking for the man who left with my parents. You know this girl? So you visited Stone's Throw as well. I see. Did you find the man? Were my parents with him? They were not, I'm afraid. However, I can think of several places they might be if you like. We can go and look for them together. Really? You'll help me look, mister? Oh, Alphino, you're a good kid, really. Of course. But first, I must need to finish speaking with my friend. She's telling me a secret, you see, so no one else is allowed to listen. May happy to wait for me by the pillar over there. We require but a moment. Okay, mister. I'll be waiting. I'll take her to the quicksand. Mayhap Momodi will know what to do. Oh, a legion of Garleans, an aether-starved primal, even dealing with an Ascian would be preferable to this charade. Sometimes I fear Minfilia is too ambitious. We rush hither and yon in response to threats as they arrive, without concern for the strain it places on our limited resources and ourselves. Mayhap the time has come for a change. Luna, this is Minfilia. I know this is sudden, but I must ask you to return to Revenant's Toll with all due haste. The situation in the Twelveswood has taken a turn for the worst. I will explain in detail once you arrive. Twelveswood? Then the primal threat she spoke of before has been confirmed? I've received no reports of Ixali action, which leaves... the Sylphs? Go, Luna. You know as well as I that the appearance of a primal takes precedent over all else. Oh, when you arrive, do inform the antecedent that while I am grateful for her concern, she needn't fear for my safety. I'm more than capable of protecting myself. Goodbye! Away he walks. At the rising stones. An ad break. How's it? Would it have been an hour? Grief. It's a fast hour. It is a relief to see you healthy and hale, Luna. The latest news from Uldar was most disturbing. Clearly, the only injury Alphino suffered was to his ego. Doubtless it will heal ere long. Ooh, Minfilia! The other Scions will need to be present for this meeting. If you're ready to begin, I will summon them now. She's like, I'm gonna go for that child's jugular. Thank you for responding to my calls with such haste. Rest assured, I should not have summoned you were it not urgent. To business, then. I have received some most disturbing news from the Order of the Twin Adder. They have reason to believe that the Sylphs may have called forth their revered guardian, the primal Rama. Or Ramu. See, I thought it was Rama, but apparently they say Ramu. I'm sorry, may have. It is not certain. The Elder Cetia informs us that the elementals themselves murmur of the Lord of Levin's return to the forest. The Sylphlands, however, display no signs of undue commotion. Oh, forgive me, Antecedent, but the fact that need not contradict the elemental's testimony. Unlike his more bellicose compeers, Gerudo and so on, Ramu is reputed to act only in the defense of his children. I imagine we'd soon make his presence known if any were foolish enough to directly endanger the sylphs of their territory. The abruptness of that development concerns me. We're not keeping a close watch on the touched ones and their movements. If preparations for a summoning ritual were indeed underway, it would surely not have escaped your notice. Oh, it didn't? I was pretty sure it was going to happen. Just not this soon. I beg your pardon. You foresaw this eventuality and did naught to prevent it. I told Papa Limo. I suppose they could have reported things to Minfilia earlier. But there honestly wasn't much we could do except wait and see. You know how the Sylphs feel about people poking around in their territory. They already summoned Ramu once right after the calamity. That was because the Guardians came trampling through the forest. And so long as Castramorian stands, the Sylphs cannot be blamed for wishing to have their guardian deity on hand. In short, Ida and I are in agreement. The action of the forest folk was inevitable and unavoidable. And I maintain that observation would have remained the best policy had it not been for the sudden influx of strangers into the Black Shroud. That, alas, we did not foresee. By all accounts, the recent violence in Uldar drove a number of refugees to seek safety under concealing canopy of the trees. 'Tis like that the Sylphs perceived this panicked migration as yet another invasion, and quickened their efforts to summon their god. I am put in mind of Titan and the kobolds. Once again, it is the affairs of men which have paved the way for a primal's coming. Indeed, one cannot help but wonder what manner of place Eorzea would be without the civilizing influence of mankind. But as it may, this regrettable development does afford us a unique opportunity. Luna, through your dealings with the Sylphs of Little Solace, you once succeeded in preventing an untimely conflict with Gridania. I wonder, might one have treated the Sylphs so fruitfully in the past not achieve similar success with their patron deity? If Ramu could be convinced of our intentions, it may be the first step to breaking the cycle of primal summoning. A fond hope, were such a thing possible, we would not have been at war with the Beastmen since time immemorial. But maybe this time we can... Let us continue this discussion anon. We must needs first consult with the nation most affected by Ramu's presence. The Elder Seedseer has requested your personal involvement, Luna. Pray report to Commander Hello at the... Helwa. Wah! God, brain. At the Adder's Nest as soon as you're able. Wah! Steel yourself for the worst. While I hope for a peaceful resolution to this matter, experience suggests that your meeting with the Lord of Levin will prove less than amicable. In such an event, your fellow Scions will of course lend you whatever support you require. Away we go! Woo! I went the wrong way again. God! Lunar of the Scions, your arrival has been most anticipated. The appearance of a primal is ever cause for alarm and unease. Though my men stand ready for any eventuality, I know of none more qualified than you to snuff out this threat. Indeed, I would have you do so without delay. The Elder Seedseer, however, would speak with you first. She is of the opinion that your diplomatic rather than martial skills may better serve our cause. I will leave further explanation to our learned leader. Pray make your way to Nofika's altar. The conjurer in attendance will admit you to the Lotus stand. Oh god, I have hiccups. I do like how everyone's kind of like, yeah, if we can avoid fighting, that'd be fantastic. Wait. I can't tell if she's meant to be... That's so cute. That's really cute. There's a lot of people here. Hello? Hi, hello? I went the wrong way again. The other signs have already arrived, madam. May I show you inside? This is a pretty place. I like this place. I used to take a lot of pictures here.
Scions of the Seventh Dawn, on behalf of the people of Gridania, I bid you welcome. Your presence is of great comfort to us all in these days of uncertainty. I summoned you here to share tidings of a most urgent nature. But a short while ago, the great elemental spoke, and his voice was clarion in its intensity. Ramuh is returned unto the forest. Scarce had his words ceased to echo in mine ears when we were visited by an emissary from Little Solace. Our guest informs us that the sylphs too have sensed the presence of the Lord of Levin. Though his exact whereabouts remain unknown, we may safely assume that the primal was summoned within the heart of the Sylphlands. Unlike the other primals you have encountered, Lord Ramuh is no raging avatar of destruction. He is revered as much for his wisdom as his strength, serving as both arbiter and guardian to his children. Given that we and the Sylphs found a way to share the Twelveswood, it is my hope that this sagely immortal will be amenable to reason, and that conflict may be avoided. Blessed as you are with the power of the Echo, you are one of the few among us who may commune with a primal without fear of influence. I would ask, therefore, that you represent us in this most delicate of negotiations. The Twelveswood has suffered enough. Upon this, we and the Sylphs, and I would venture Lord Ramuh himself, are in perfect accord. Let us not endanger our shared home by engaging in unnecessary hostilities. Dear friend, I beseech you, safeguard the peace which exists between our peoples.
Nod.
You have my thanks.
A little wiggle, baby.
Pray make for Little Solace, then. A member of the Order of the Twin Adder awaits you there. He will advise you on how to find the Lord of Levin. An ill wind blows through the forest. Yet, it is not only the Twelveswood that flinches at its coming. All the lands of Eorzea shiver in dread anticipation. Have care.
You go talk to an old man. We're not gonna punch the old man in the face. We're gonna talk to the old man. Old man. Haunts. Spiky haunts. Stabby haunts. Oh, we fly, the land of the flying cabbages. Lunar of the Scions, I was told to expect you. I understand you go to treat with the primal Ramuh himself. An unenviable task, but one for which I have no doubt you are well suited. I've been told that your fellow Scions are conducting an investigation of the area as we speak. They might ascertain the location where the Lord of Levin might be found. I would ask that you abide here until they return with their findings. Okay. Okie dokie. I was told that the messenger would be sent as soon as your fellow Scions finished their investigation. I do not imagine it will be much longer.
This one returns, and returns with good tidings. Wise ones have finished searching, and have wisely identified the precise location where the Touch Ones summoned Lord Ramu.
Timing is impeccable, my fluttery friend. Might you be so kind as to escort this good woman to her fellow Scions?
It would be this one's pleasure, Walking One. Please come with this one.
Oh, thank God I have flying. Getting to where they are without flying back in the day was an absolute pain in the butt.
Wise ones have ventured deep within the Sylphlands. These ones must proceed carefully and keep an eye out for the Touched Ones.
Or I could just fly over them. I have magical haunts. Oh my God. No.
This one is most sorry, but this one can go no further. Draw too close to Lord Ramu, and this one may turn mean and nasty like Touched Ones. And so this one must say farewell for now. Walking Ones will find Wise Ones not far from here to the south. Go in safety, Walking One.
Alright. Haunts. So it is actually you, and I am relieved. For a moment I thought we were dealing with another one of those confounded sylph tricksters. I swear, with them wreaking havoc with their skin-changing magics, it's a wonder I was able to finish taking my measurements. Yes, it was quite the ordeal. You should have seen the look on Y'shtola's face when the one impersonating you suddenly showed up. And that's quite enough, Papalimo. Ahem. My apologies, it's not like me to ramble so. At any rate, as I was saying, I finished measuring etheric activity in the area, and I'm pleased to say I've reached an indisputable conclusion. To wit, that Ramu was called forth from the vicinity of the Sylph's Aephorite. Come, Luna, the Lord of Lavin awaits. Lord of Lavin awaits. Meow. For goodness sake. Ow! Rude. Leave me alone. Why is there one right on top? Oh my God, there really is. Not having any of that. Thunder, rain, and lightning.
Tynora betrays thee, servant of hiding.
Everybody's blind.
Thou art the bringer of light, bane of Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, and Leviathan. I am Ramu, guardian of the children of the forest. Thou tramplest upon sacred soil, bringer of light. By what right doth man intrude in this sanctuary of the sylphs? The Gridanians proffer peace? Their words are born of delusion, thine offer an insult. Thou speakest of harmony, yet carest naught for my children's desires. They did but wish to dwell beneath these boughs in solitude. Yet even that was too much to ask of man. Thus did they turn to me for succor. The sentence I pronounce upon thy kind is just. Redanian or Garlean, it matters not. The good intent of one excuseth not the misdeeds of the other. Thy conflicts have brought naught but anguish and misery unto the forest. All blame doth lie with the darkness that resideth in the breast of man. Whence sprung this calamitous seed? In the beginning no such duality existed. Were light and dark given form when man was born? It would explain much, not least why strife and sorrow follow ever in thy wake. Thou canst not deny the urgings of thine own nature. Knowing that thy mere presence here portendeth tragedy, wilt thou persist in this pretense of peacemaking?
Yeah.
Thou bearest the crystal which I bestowed upon my wayward charges. That they should entrust so precious a gift to thee. Thou standest apart from thy kin. Thou art the bringer of light, aye. But there is something more in thee. Very well. I shall consider thy proposal. Shouldst thou survive my trial. If thou wouldst champion the cause of harmony, I must have proof that thou art fit to play the role. Wither mine ire, and prove to me thereby that thou hast strength enough to stay the darkness which threateneth to consume thee. Yet if thou shouldst be found wanting, know that all men shall perish in the storm of my judgment. Come to me, bringer of light. I shall await thee on the field of battle.
Eorzea, it is rare indeed to find you so far from a tome.
The Lord of Levin himself. Never till this day had I looked upon his visage, save in painted renderings made faint by time. Ever shall this scene remain etched in my mind's eye. Beg pardon, my lady.
Oh, Oriandra, you're such a nerd. I love you.
I must beg thine aid on a point of research. If thou art resolved to face Lord Ramu, I would ask thy leave to observe the event.
Nerdy men are great. They're just great. Alright, time to beat up an old man. Slightly away. No instant queue. And I'm all dressed up with nowhere to go. See, complaining it pops. It's just the fundamental rule. Old man! Also one of my favorite songs. Alrighty, Roni. Double white mage. Oh, this song is like so pretty. That man has enough regions on him, he'll be Please, somebody stand on me. Ah. This is fun. Release me from my prison. Oh god. I have never had to Benny anyone in this fight, but apparently we're doing it today. One commendation. I'll take it. I'll take it.
I have taken thy measure, bringer of light. And I judge thee a worthy champion. The task of excising the sin that hath taken root in man's heart is thine. Shrink not from employing thy strength in service to the forest and the wider realm beyond. Like hungering shadows do the enemies of harmony gather, and meekness will but feed them.
Yeah, you just misfunded Grandpa Earth.
If man is to be delivered from the dark, it shall be by thy guiding light alone. Stray not from the path, for if thou dost, thy people shall be truly lost.
Thou hast slain the Lord of Levin. A regrettable act, but a necessary one. In witnessing thy struggle, a truth hath been revealed unto me. If I mistake not, it may yet prove a chink in the eternal armor of the Ascians.
Yep, horseback, Grandpa.
But let us conclude our present business. I shall expound upon my findings at the Rising Stones anon.
I really just can't escape horses, can I? And it's the year of the horse. Away! Wrong way! Luna, you have returned. Dare I ask how Ramu received your visit? It went alright, actually. He challenged you to a test of arms? It is well then you have some experience in such matters. Peoples of both Gridania and Little Solace will be relieved to hear that the Lord of Lavin has accepted you as the forest champion of peace. You performed a monumental duty this day, Luna. The Elder Seedseer must be informed of your deeds at once. But she must. Leaven an impression. The Elder Seedseer will wish to hear of your experiences firsthand. Pray return to Gridania and make directly for the Lotus Stand. The Conjurer at Nofika's altar will be expecting you. Fare you well, Luna. Just to check something real quick. Luna needs to check something. Why am I getting messages? Oh, it's just people talking about music, which is fine. It's cool. Welcome back, honored scion. We who knew of your mission have been most anxious to see you return. The elder seats here await you within. Yeah.
You are returned to us, dear friend, and none the worse for bearing the heavy burden which I did press upon you. Most glad am I of this. I am informed that your efforts to negotiate a peace with Lord Ramuh ended in conflict. Pray tell me, what befell? Ramuh made trial of you? I fear there is truth to his claim. It is the darkness within us that attracts the darkness without. It cannot be denied that misfortune follows man. For evidence, one need only look to the conflict brewing in Cartano, or to the rising flood of refugees. Our shared struggle against the Empire should have served to seal our union. Yet the ties which bind the Alliance strain under the weight of gross self-interest. As the scars of the calamity begin to fade, so too does our sense of common purpose. Yet now is scarce the time to forget our shared responsibility. If this new-sprung realm is to survive beyond its infancy, it must needs be nurtured by all. Eorzea must be as one, yet I fear that dream is still far off. On behalf of the people of Gridania, and the elementals both, I thank you for all that you and your fellow scions have done.
Heck yeah!
Full oft have I been compelled to look to you for aid of late, and offered all too little in return. As leader of this nation, I shall endeavor to prove a more worthy ally to your cause henceforth. Lord Ramuh has departed, yet the keening of this ill wind grows no less insistent. Voices of the forest, pray speak and I shall listen. What unseen evil begets this unease in my heart?
Thus ends another daunting mission, eh, Luna? I'd hoped Lord Ramuh could be persuaded with words alone, but nonetheless, I can only admire the adroitness with which you responded to the primal sudden challenge. And it seems that Eorzea too was pleased with the outcome. What say you, Luna? Shall we grab her back to the Rising Stones and ponder the lessons of the day? Yes. I'm in half a mind, so I want to keep playing 14, but there is another game I kind of want to play. Which is, I know, annoying, but as is with me. Welcome back, Luna. Word of your momentous encounter with Lord Ramuh precedes you. I would fain share news of mine own, but Eorzea's discoveries must take precedence. Upon witnessing your defeat of the Lord 11, Our learned companion was struck with a profound insight regarding the nature of the Ascian's immortality. Let us assemble and discuss his observations together.
If everyone is ready, let us begin. Eorzea, the floor is yours.
As all here assembled now know, in its final hours as our Order's headquarters, the Waking Sands did play host to a most unexpected visitor. I speak of the Ascian clad in white, Elidibus.
This is true, Earth. This is true.
Unwelcome though his presence was, his words that day did serve to confirm a truth long suspected, that the Ascians are eternal beings, to whom physical destruction is as a temporary inconvenience.
In the intervening time, Eorzea and I have striven to discover a means by which the Ascians might more permanently be slain.
And 'tis my belief that we have found the thread that will allow us to unravel the twisted skein of their existence. In the moments prior to Leviathan's most recent manifestation, the Sahagin elder who summoned him was observed to undergo some manner of ascension. The etheric readings taken by Y'shtola at the time of this transfiguration have proven most enlightening.
The disruption to the flow of ether was sudden and dramatic. So tangible was the agitation, I scarce had need of my goggles.
The significance of Y'shtola's readings might better be understood in the context of mine own, taken at the instant of the Lord of Levin's demise. Unlike the Primal, the Sahagin was not subject to etheric dissipation.
Before discussing our new discoveries, it may benefit us all to recall what we know of etheric behavior.
Y'all ready for a lesson?
Let us begin at what some might call the end. When we who dwell in the material realm die, our spirits dissolve into the flow of ether and are returned to the ethereal realm. In turn, the restless energy which suffuses that plane streams back into our world, giving rise to new life.
'Tis as the heavens did decree, the way of all mortal souls. Twixt this world and the next do the ethereal currents swirl, bearing the very essence of life. Thus...
Oops. Did not mean to interrupt Eorzea.
Primals behave somewhat differently. In order to manifest and then maintain a physical presence in this realm, they must consume vast quantities of ether, most often in the form of crystals. Though they may seem to live, their flesh is but ether given shape. Thus, a defeated primal leaves behind no broken corpse. Rather, the essence of its form seeps back into the land whence it came, and the energy of its shattered spirit is called back to the ethereal realm.
And there it waiteth, till next the prayers of the faithful do draw it forth from the sea of ether, to take their offering of crystals and make for itself a new body.
Which brings us on to the third group, the so-called immortals. They exist in a manner all their own.
Quite. Even as the Sahagin elder fell to the Admiral's musket shot, I witnessed the release of an ethereal cloud, which immediately took possession of a nearby minion.
A soul that dissipateth not upon the death of the flesh.
The secret of life everlasting, and in the claws of a Sahagin no less. But I wonder, what would happen to one of these obstinate spirits should there be no suitable host for it to claim?
If mortal death entails a return to the ethereal realm, It seems doubtful that the soul of an immortal would venture there.
Nay, it merely withdraweth the distance, unto the shore of the ethereal sea, perchance, but no further.
Yes, it exists in neither this realm nor the next, abiding instead in the space that lies between them.
Hope you're taking notes,
The
guys.
Ascians took control of Thancred by means of a crystal of darkness, an artifact which, if our theories are correct, serves as a gateway to the place I have just described.
I was hoping people had forgotten about that.
I am sorry, my friend.
Haha, you got possessed.
For a
Sorry.
mercy, the weary road of our research hath brought us unto an answer.
The Sahagin ascended to an immortal state, but he did not possess a crystal of darkness through which to flee this realm. Thus was he consumed by Leviathan. If we could entrap the spirits of defeated Ascians in like manner, and thereby deny them resurrection...
Therein lieth the path to victory. Thou art most perceptive, my lady. Only when we have trapped the bodiless soul within an ethereal prison can we hope to defeat its unnatural constancy. Thus might even an eternal paragon be consigned to oblivion.
These feats are, of course, far easier said than done. At present, we lack a viable means to entrap and extinguish an Ascian soul. Yet, I believe it to be possible. The pieces of the puzzle lie before us. We have but to put them together.
I will depart at once to convene with the sages of Sharlayan. Together shall we divine the steps by which our goals may be achieved.
I have the utmost faith in you, Archon.
Beg pardon, antecedent, but I would raise one final matter. Even now, a Sharlayan survey party seeketh to ascertain the fate of the students of Baldessian. Their findings shall soon be known to us. Though you harbor feelings of dread, I bid you surrender not to sorrow, but abide instead in hopeful prayer.
I shall, Archon. Thank you.
Ooh, I will hydrate, thank you. It's Organization 13. The Lord of Levin is returned to Ether as was Leviathan before him. Ramu's acquiescence was most intriguing. Inferno, Vortex, Crag, Whirl, and Levin all now have been humbled by the Bringer of Light. The limitless potential of man, Heidelin's servant grows mightier by the day. Yet she prospers at great cost to her mistress, whose strength is all too infinite. 7 times have the masses survived the rejoining, but the souls have grown weak and wan. Yet even as it innovates, the ardor empowers our master. All that remains is to nurture the strength of the gifted, to forge the final key. And that is the task to which we bend our every effort. Divine seeds would ever want to quicken Eorzea's fertile soil. We need only lead men to the field, and by the eager hand shall a new deity arise. That which was shattered shall be made anew, and the one true God shall come again. so funny when you play back through this with all the context, and you're like, huh. Okay, I'm going to take a quick break and run some ads and have a little think whether I want to keep playing some more 14 or whether I want to switch to something else. So I will be